build on Primal Beast is like a 1-4-1 build. So Uproar is the third, so just the 1 point into it means that with the maximum 5 stacks, all the quote unquote all the bonus armor that you're going to be getting, even if it's maxed out, is 5. But then once you put more and more points into it, which is around the time where your TA and all this physical damage is truly coming online. Let's say you've got 4 points into it. That's 4 armor per each stack, so 20 armor that you're able to get through the Uproar. It's pretty significant. Is there anything that they need to break as well? Not really. The Aghanim Scepter on the Primal Beast does provide a break linked to that Uproar. And we got to make sure we do our points. All right, highest total magic or pure damage. Co-op?
Yeah.
I'm feeling the co-op.
Yeah, I went Bobby.
30 seconds.
Time of first tower destruction. It's not amazing tower push, so maybe 8 to 11 minutes?
Same with me.
Racks 30 minutes, and highest net worth probably the Void. Maybe the TA, actually. TA.
Yeah, I'm hesitant on that one. I'm just not quite sure how the Unknown's going to be able to play. And because I do feel like Execration can infiltrate Unknown's jungle very easily with these heroes they got, so we'll see how that shapes up. I didn't make my selection, but that is okay. All eyes onto the game. It's an all-important game here for Summit as well. They are 1 game down here in the best of 3. And already off to the start. We got a 2 for 2 in regards to the bounties. Vincenzo is able to get a D-ward mid though, so a nice little start to help out Mr. Bob into the matchup versus the Wind Ranger. Something that is a very, very difficult hero to play. Like, you need to snowball on the Wind Ranger.
Oh yeah. He is on my not a fan list, for sure. I mean, you just need to play it perfectly. Like, there are very few people that have, like, basically flawless laning skills and flawless rotations that are like, all right, I'm very comfortable in this guy playing mid-Wind Ranger. Top of the list has to be Maybe. He is, like, one of the few people that's just like a robot in the lane and able to take advantage of some of the weaker periods that Wind Ranger has.
Bob, you're so kind. Take your time. Look at that. He's definitely feeling himself. I mean, guy just bodied them in game 1. He's like, yeah, let me soak in it a little bit.
Why not? Let it marinate, you know? That's you got to marinate overnight. That's the way that you get the best flavor and tenderness. You a cook?
I was just going to ask the same thing. Did you know this from personal experience, Mr. Chef Danog?
I know it from plenty of YouTube watching at 3 a.m. in my bed. So I always get bored, and then I look at cooking videos, and then I get really hungry, and then I get sad. So I have sleep for a midnight snack.
What? You have sleep for a midnight snack. Very interesting. I thought you were going to say like some ice cream or something. What is your purchases been so far? What ice cream is chilling in the freezer?
I actually had an option to get one that was half price, but then I'm trying to be good as well. So I had a look at the nutritional content, and I was like, oh no, can't be doing that. How long does ice cream last in the freezer as well? Because I've had this gelato in there for a really long time from like one of the actual gelaterias, and it's really good, but I'm just worried because it's been in there a while.
Look, if anyone was going to know, I would say it's going to be you. I will say, though, actually, I have a mean protein ice cream recipe, so if you're actually looking for a bit more healthy option, then
to hit me up in
right.
in the DMs after this one.
I'll slide in, don't you worry. I'll sort a brother out. Shanks up to his usual shenanigans here. Not a hero that we're going to see many stacks coming up from the Ospiro. Trezam is going to do a good enough job to at least pull the range creep, so Shanks is trying to re-aggro. Can he get it? Nope.
The creep's going to lose sight. Nope, no. It actually connects through onto the Wild Wing Ripper there, so going to be losing that. I wonder if Shanks is at least going to be able to get in range.
Unknown's going to die.
Yep. That's the trample power.
Oh god, I hate this hero. I haven't played against it. I barely watched enough games of Primal Beast. Every time, Denog, if you hear me like snicker in this game, It's more than likely because of the onslaught. I know he hasn't even used it just yet. I give him pre-warning. I'll hold that thought because top lane, Vincenzo's dropped the tombstone. CZY is going to move on forward to try and deal with. Instead, he's going to go back to try and help out Crush with the movement speed. But now it puts CZY in a position where he could just be chased down with ease. He used his jump in, so there was no escape. Like you said, the slows were stacking up in Execration. They had an incredible laning phase off the back of game one, and it looks like that momentum is carrying into the second game.
And it's not like the mid game is going to get any easier either, because look at the heroes that Execration drafted as soon as that Razor was revealed, right? Like, they had the Undying first pick. That was the first overall pick. Ever since then, you've got Blink, you've got Onslaught Charge, you've got Roll, you've got Time Walk, so you really don't care at all about this Tusk or about this Razor. Like, you need the stun lock needs to be perfect on CZY, and the Shackle needs to be perfect on Mercury for you to kill anyone, essentially, other than this Undying.
I'm still just waiting for them to jump in down bottom. Probably once Tino gets that extra point.
With the
onslaught. Oh, 4? Okay, okay, sure.
You're just maxing out trample as quickly as possible.
There we go.
Bit of anti-synergy here. Early trample.
I guess maybe they're
Never mind, doesn't matter.
The tower. Maybe it's not too bad. Oh my god, what a hero, what a hero.
I love when teams pick up this hero a little bit later into the draft. Top lane, actually, they're making a bit of a dive onto Vincenzo. Doesn't have the mana to be able to drop the tombstone or use the decay. Just about to get enough mana for it, though, and well, that should look to enable him to just charge in onto CZY. But Palos just looking to prioritize making sure that those range creeps continuously look to get denied. He can just cleverly re-aggroing them onto the second one from the wave. So it's going to cause the lane not to push quite as heavily into the Razor. And yeah, well, again, all three lanes. I know it's super early days, 4 minutes in, but 3-1 lanes for Execration. It always seems to be the story, no matter their opponent.
It's scary as well, because you had this last pick Wind Ranger, and she's just getting bodied mid lane. Like, Bob is 22-9 compared to the 15, make it 17-2 now, but I feel like it's not going to get any different unless supports start to help out, but supports need to be playing in the side lanes, because if we look at bottom, Trezam can't leave. He's got Tino and Shanks on top of him. Tino's already up to a killing spree, and the Primal Beast, if you get this hero, one of your strengths is off the back of the lanings phase, and you can definitely snowball that into a crazy early game, and that might just be the case here in this game too.
Gonna look to go for another play here down bottom. Is Trample available again? Not for another 4 or so seconds. Just trying to maybe...
Nice body
now that you've used the refraction. Tino, there we go. Trample in. He's gone a little bit too far though, Tino. Maybe overestimating. He really put the jets on. Activated the NOS.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Can you tell that I've been watching Fast and Furious lately?
I have not. What, do you watch? Oh no, Tino lost his self. You watch the new ones? What's going on?
Nah, all the originals. I'm a boomer, you know this.
Yeah, but a boomer can appreciate some of the new stuff as well. For the finer things in life, like the new beautiful movies that are out there. Fast and Furious.
I don't know how many boomers you've come into, but we are very traditionalist with our preferences.
Mid lane, Bob. Chain control, drag. Oh my lord, Bob. Almost going down. A nice attempt from Summit.
They are diving again onto Unknown. He is dead. Trezam, my man, you cannot leave. It's not allowed. And this is what I was talking about. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of people that just get caught into these cookie cutter builds. You know what I was saying before about Snowball being so important? He's only just leveled it up at level 4. And I honestly think that out of the 3 deaths on Unknown, he probably lives through at least 2 of them if you just have that Snowball save to be able to kite out the trample. Like, it's 5.5 second duration. How long can you stay in the Snowball? 3 seconds, right? So you're like halving the duration that it's actually going to be useful onto you. Maybe they can get a kill onto Tino.
We'll see if they can. Tino trying to stand his ground. Does have the onslaught to get some distance away, but the snowball rolling forward. Tino's not going to go down. And now they can maybe turn it back onto Jam. Ability's still on cooldown for the moment, so it looks like they're going to be okay. Summit will reposition. On the opposite side of the map, though, we see Palos gets a kill onto Crush. It does come at a cost as Summit are able to find their first kill of the game onto Vincenzo, but Palos is off to a very good start. Bottom lane, Tino again's in a little bit of trouble. He's got the phase boots now. So that extra... hang on, Tino's going to go back in. Tino!
He's got the uproar.
He's got the uproar to protect himself, to trample as well, to go through the refraction. Tino's falling lower and lower. The urn, no way! Oh, the urn regen was enough to keep Tino alive.
The urn regen, the tower armor, and that uproar. All of that additional armor providing a +10 for the laning stage on top of the amount that he's got from the phase boots as well. So hard to take down this primal beast with a very physical damage-oriented line.
1,000 net worth lead for Execration. Off to a fine start. And look what they've done on the opposite side of the map as well by the triangle. Blocked up the Ancients already. They've also dropped the ward on the cliff as well. So just gearing up, making sure they are ready for whenever this Templar Assassin starts to fall back to the triangle.
Oh, 3 people down on this bottom side, though. Could they look to get a kill, even if it's just onto Shanks?
Pulverize, what an ability. Oh, Tino could just turn it around onto all of them. He doesn't have the trample to play with, but just the right clicks, the pure damage coming out thanks to the uproar. Seeming to be an issue, but no one will die.
But you see what I'm talking about, right? Like, he is very cooldown reliant.
Shanks?
20...
Oh, not like this, Shanks. That's not what you want to be.
Oh, never mind.
No way he survives. He's gonna live. Shanks, he might even live, but I know it's not gonna have the same fate because Tino's pulverized. He's back up. Ready to rock and roll with his. Tino is wicked sick and across the map.
Oh, they're taking the stack. It's only a single stack, but I mean, this is just so demoralizing. They haven't got any Ancients to play around with. I believe they're pinging it out. They've got that Observer Ward out the front of the Roche Pit that would have seen them moving towards the area, and where can you farm now? Tina just creeps walking into the Summit Towers, dealing some damage, not being available for the cores on Summit to be able to farm. Certainly not the way that you want potentially your one and only series in these qualifiers to be going.
Oh, without a doubt, this 4th place team in Division 2 Summit, they are struggling against Execration, who came out on top. These boys are no joke of a team, and we're seeing it in this game too again. Their laning stage, and well, they've been able to sniff out Unknown. Nice use of the meld, however. I believe disjointed the dagger, so we'll be okay.
Poor Unknown. He just buys a Sage's mask and he's like, all right, boys, I'm in the jungle. I need my mana to be able to just stand here on my own. Could he use that? Nah, he still wants the right-click damage from the pig pole. Yeah, I'm really becoming more and more of a fan of these later stage Primal Beast picks, because if you don't have a specific response to it, I thought they did.
Speaking about the Primal Beast.
Primal, yeah.
Down bottom, Mercury's going to TP in to try and deal with the pulverize. Tino is incredibly deep, and they should finally be able to get the kill. This is a gigantic streak for them to claim. Nemo to the northern side, though. Trozam, he's already used the snowball, but the snipe from downtown as Mercury will stop Vincenzo's TP short.
All right, it's something. It's something. They're able to pick that one up. Palos just looking to push. Can Unknown be here? Has to be a little bit careful. I suppose he's only used 1 cooldown, so time dilation isn't going to be all that effective at burning off those refraction charges. But yeah, you need a specific response to the Primal Beast. Like, Oracle, in my opinion,
Unknown's in trouble.
best.
Bob can... I think with Sonic Wave, well, Tino's nearby, so yeah, he's dead. Yeah. Bye-bye, Unknown. It was nice knowing you for a little bit. Tino's even going to drop the Pulverize for good measure. Summit, they are starting to connect. They know that Tino moved in with the Onslaught, so Crush should be able to steal plenty of damage coming out of the Static Link. They even got CZY's ultimate as well, just to make sure so they're able to secure the kill. A second death in a row here for Tino. So who was giving away a lot of gold and now a lot of experience as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but I don't want to say he's done his job in just dominating that laning stage, but at least none of the farm, if you're looking for Execration's perspective, is going over to the TA, right? She might get an assist from that, but in the grand scheme of things, does that really matter when you've got 5 deaths at the 11-minute mark? Probably not. and your Faceless Void is looking to farm up into you. So even though it's a great TA game, it's got to be at least an okay start to the game to enable that sort of thing. And even just the item build coming through from Palos and his Faceless Void here, going into the Lincoln Sphere, realizing that, you know, probably just getting chain locked down by the Marcy, the Tusk, the Wind Range, or even just static link prevention is the only way that they're going to be able to truly lock in onto him and have that significant impact in being able to take him down. So yeah, they know that they're not really lacking in any damage when you've got heroes like Earth Spirit, Primal Beast, so strong, particularly prior to these BKBs. So something like a Lincoln Sphere that's just going to get you past that stage and allow you to continue farming, it is going to be a really nice item.
Lane. Making another attempt. Vincenzo will be okay though. Mercury was in two minds of how deep they wanted to go for the kill onto the Undying. Mercury is very much struggling. You do not have this capability like the Templar Assassin to be able to catch back up in the jungle. We mentioned this is a hero that needs to snowball. You need kills to have a good game, and Mercury unfortunately has not had that at all early on. So I'm struggling to see what this hero is going to be able to do for Summit.
Yeah. I mean, the more the days go by, the more I agree with Slacks. That it's just, people think that they've got comfort on it, but it's just, it ain't it. It can look amazing, but it's just like 1 in 10 that it actually does. Mid lane, there aren't any creeps to be able to reliably shackle that 1-2, and it just means that Bob is able to get away even after picking up the double damage room with the assistance of the Tumbler's Toy, and they're going to look to try and make another smoke attempt happen. This seems pretty desperate coming through from Summit, just trying to catch anyone off on their own, but it's going to be Shanks that pops this smoke first. They don't want him. They want the Faceless Void, and they didn't even get it onto Shanks. He's going to be able to roll away. Oh, maybe not long enough.
What's the Void? Is he going to stick around? No one's tipping to the tier 1 tower just yet, in case for a turnaround on Execration. Palos will be okay. Back to farming he goes. He did end up going this Mask of Madness as well, so interesting. I mean, like we kind of brought up the previous patch, the Voids were going, you know, this Mask of Madness, you know, Maelstrom, maybe into the Ag Shard, but this patch, we really haven't seen the Mask of Madness. And you mentioned it was really just a Maelstrom first item. I feel like probably a big reason of that is the nerf to the lifesteal. So I'm intrigued that Palos has gone down this route.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I suppose. I mean, it really depends what other items you're able to get from neutrals. Maybe he feels like he's just had a good enough laning stage that he's hitting strong enough that lifesteal is going to be enough. You know, it's not like a recovery, sit in the jungle and farm because you can't lane item. It's more of a, all right, I'm just going to even accelerate my farm even more and be this big team fight menace. Smoke coming up top. Tino. Oh, they want Unknown. Be able to settle for the Razor and be very happy to be able to claim this one.
It looks like that'll be the case. Double ultimates expended out from Execration, the Magnetizer along with the Pulverize. Meanwhile, mid lane as well. Bob, the double damage rune's going to make the attempt. It does get the blink away. Again, Summit just disjointed with their chain control. Bob's going to be a bit cautious. A defensive use of the Sonic Wave to push them away, but Execration, they're starting to pivot their attention to mid. Vincenzo and Shanks stalking Summit. The trap is going to scout out the Earth Spirit though, so Summit have plenty of time to be able to react. Mercury.
Oh lord, they're coming.
The river. Oh, Palos. First Crotus for the game, clipping out to 2 heroes. And they'll even get the Marcy as well for good measure. What a rotation coming out from Palos' Faceless Void.
Should be an easy tier 1 tower as well, just opening up more of the map. This is not what the TA wants. TA wants to be able to farm up towards this top side of the map in relative safety. Well, obviously you want to make sure that you're denying that. Oh no, Tino's right on top of him.
Not like this.
TP is probably now, but well, it looks like they'll be able to find him. Death number 6.
How many is he going to get up to at the end of this game?
That wasn't part of the predictions, unfortunately, so
I know,
did not
but
enter
you
it.
can. I know, but you can still guess.
Let's say 12.
Oh, all right, I was going to say 11. Damn, you're going a bit over.
Bro, it's 6 by 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could say he'll only have 7. He'll go 1 death for the rest of the game and bring it back.
We could
That's a
say that, couldn't we?
possibility.
But we won't, because it's
No,
not
we
going to
won't.
happen.
Ah, come on, man. You don't believe in the river, Vincenzo. Nice kill for them to be able to find Tusk and the Wind Ranger. It's a pretty decent combination with that tag team and the focus fire, but only the first time we've been able to see them get a pick off. They're going to need to do that maybe 7+ times.
Not onto the Undying, though. Such a heavy rotation just to be able to get one, even just using the focus fire for it, makes it really not worth it. You're not going to be able to kill Palos down here without that.
I guess you'll take whatever kill you can get, though, at this stage for Mercury. Like, just to get him to the Maelstrom and get him that level 12, and then maybe you have the capability to go for a core. Palos is still chilling down here. What's the play, Mr.
Why not?
Palos?
You've got the boys smoking. All coming. The 3 thick boys, the strength buddies, Primal Beast, Earth Spirit, and Undying. They've got that Wind Ranger in their sights, and well, Mercury feels like something's up, but not able to get away in time.
What a charge in from Tino, the Pulverize as well. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, Bob might drop the Sonic Wave, but not going to feel like that will be enough damage to get the kill on the Crush. And now with these 2 kills down bottom, though, for Execration, we're going to see them look to shove at the lane. Palos has already got a goddamn Lincoln Sphere completed for the Faceless Void, so that will protect him against a little bit of control that they're playing with from Summit. Nice versus the Static Link. Not that you're really looking for it. It's mainly the control that he's worried about.
And I like the fact that is this
Crush.
the first?
The Razor's in a bit of trouble. They're going to kick it back towards the Queen of Pain. Dropping the Sonic Wave as well, just to guarantee the kill before the rest of Summit show up.
I like the fact that they're using the Unleash up top just to try and get something, you know, to open up the map a little bit. I really want to see Unknown not go into this Desolator. You need the BKB. Suddenly, you could fight into the Primal Beast. You could fight, like, Pulverize doesn't pierce spell immunity. The Undying isn't going to be able to do that much. Earth Spirit's going to be able to do basically nothing. So then suddenly it just opens up a little bit more space to play aggressively in these team fights and enable your heroes like the Wind Ranger and the Razor to actually have a bit more of that consistent damage presence. I know it might feel like you just won't have damage for the team fight, but you have 0 damage if you're just dead. And I feel like that's what's going to happen if he doesn't have this BKB.
And he could be the target of the smoke gank as well from Execration. Unknown's in a pretty decent position with the ward on the high ground to pop the smoke and maybe get out, but Execration, they're pivoted far enough to Unknown's location. Instantly, somebody could have looked to try and TP in to protect the TA, but Tino, a guaranteed duration of the Pulverize thanks to the BKB. We'll kill him off for another time, and a Mercury as well, but the roll's on point.
What's the deny?
It's an ambitious attempt at the deny, and unfortunately, he will not find it.
Even Palos just down here on his own. Again, with this Lincoln Sphere, he's fearless. You know, he knows that if Wind Ranger isn't around, he's not going to die. You don't have the damage yet on the Tusk. You don't have the damage on the Marcy. Razor, he's off farming because he needed that BKB. He's got it now. He still needs that level 12, though.
Crush. Gonna look to jump in onto the Earth Spirit. At least they should get the kill onto Shanks, but Bob's nearby. He's gonna jump into the middle. Tino's got the follow-up as well, but Bob's in a little bit of trouble. The Strength Dreads not gonna keep the Queen of Pain alive.
They got a
Bob's
roach
chuckling
right now.
a little bit.
Dude, this is their opening. They popped the Eye of the Storm. They've got half duration left on it. 2 people are dead right outside the Roche pit where they've got decent enough vision, but they're just going to go back to farming. I feel like they had enough damage to do it with a Tusk and a Sidekick and an Unleash still going. Puzzling. Would have been nice to be able to at least give to the TA so that your team has time to back you up when they inevitably go for another one of these kill attempts onto her.
Palos is even just toying with Crush down bottom. Time walk in, time walk out, seeing if he can force some reactions. Seeing if Palos is always up to his shenanigans.
Did you say he's going to be a lucky man this game with the time locks?
I think he's been well and truly lucky with his how it looks so far. His lane, he was getting bashes at the wazoo. Wazoo!
Yeah, old-timey silent film star or something.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Sounds like you're from the 1920s with that accent. Yeah, see? Out the wazoo.
Have you been working on your accents? No, you gotta,
I don't need to work on them. They just come naturally to me.
Come naturally.
Tino, he's going
Alright.
for the dive onto 2.
Oh, God. Oh, Tino.
Big
He's
shackle.
in some trouble. They need to try and slow down the damage coming up for the Wind Ranger. They won't be fast enough for the turnaround for Bob. Sonic Wave clipping onto multiple heroes. Even Palace is going to get involved as well. They brought down 2, and onto a 3rd they go. They'll make sure Mercury will not slip in to the outskirts of the fight, and now even Crush on the high ground. Oh, I mean, Palace, I bet he was considering the Chrono. I'm really surprised he didn't use it, honestly. Just a statement Chrono into the Razor.
Mm-hmm. And that was the Primal Beast. Like, he still took a while to kill, and he still took a pretty heavy investment coming through from these heroes on Summit. He didn't BKB. He didn't get the uproar off because they got that chain lockdown. And this is what happens. You might be able to kill one hero with all of these chain lockdowns, but you're so single target that you're not going to be able to kill anyone else. That's the big issue. Whereas Execration, they don't have that issue. They've got, what, 4 significant AoE teamfight abilities, but also the potential to just pick someone off solo. Like, it's just the much higher level of flexibility that they've got with how they can take their team fights, whereas it feels like everything needs to be so perfect for Summit to even begin to think about having a successful fight.
Not again.
Which is why that, I mean, they have to know they're there. They have to.
Oh, Tino, does he get the stun? Oh, my lord. They're smoking out for Summit. See how they can take the team fight. TA is going to be nearby. They might see Palos. The chain control needs to be perfect. Time work, not enough. Beautifully done. They get the Void. Execration, do they want to go back?
Oh, that Tombstone's going to do a lot.
That's an incredible Tombstone. They're unable to kill it off on the high ground. And Crush, he's committed to the team fight. Off to the left side, Unknown's okay. Same with CZY, but Crush, he will not have the same fate. Smack down into the river, a double kill for Shanks, and you mentioned it, that Tombstone was going to be an issue, and as soon as they weren't able to deal with it from Summit, they had to get out and cut their losses.
Oh, he's been going for the solo kills on Tino. No. Ooh, can he look to turn this one around? Doesn't have the uproar available, but he doesn't need it. Bob's there. He just blinks in fearlessly again. Like, again, no focus fire available. Tusk was dead. TA was dead. Sorry, Razor was dead. TA just died. And you're just able to fix that so easily, pick up these easy kills. It just feels like the definition of insanity, going for these same plays over and over again that just aren't going to work. Something needs to change. As for what that is, good question. I think Primal Beast absolutely needs to be the one that dies, and I think TA, I'm just still really not a fan of this build. You do no damage with this Desolator if you're dead. So just get a BKB, enable yourself to fight, force the Chrono to be used on you as opposed to some of these other heroes.
I think the issue is, like you mentioned, like Primal Beast has to be the first one to die, but you got to commit everyone to kill this hero, and if you do so, then you're avoiding the Tombstone, then you're grouping up for a Chrono, then Bomb can get a big ultimate, then Shanks can freely spellcast. Like, it's so difficult for Summit to be able to find an avenue back into this game. It really has to come down to, I think, a couple of mistakes from Execration.
Up until now, they haven't made too many. Couple of slightly deep dives coming through from Tino. Punished to varying degrees. Of course, Faceless Void ended up dying in that previous one, just feeling like he had ownership over the enemy team's triangle.
I'll run it to CZY. Just pops a BKB and wants a man fight. CZY. Look to TP up. He's going to be okay. Tino wants to see if there's anyone else playing behind him at the moment, and Summit, wary of this, have repositioned.
Even just clearing the tree lines is Tino.
Why does that kill trees?
Yeah, there's so little that kill trees these days, but I mean, if you have this big dino boy out there,
No way.
I think it makes sense from a lore perspective.
Can they kill him? It looks like they might be able to,
pops the
especially with the
uproar,
shackle. Tino's going to be able to get it off. Shanks is instantly down bottom. Oh, the onslaught distance. Tino just gets out. They'll force a BKB. But same with Crush, he had to BKB, had to the Ice Storm. So meanwhile, mid lane Palace, he's just looking for a kill onto CZY. He's going to be a bit cautious with the Mask of Madness pop. Bob's gonna look to jump into the middle. A lot of damage coming out of the Sonic Wave. And Am's in trouble. This Tombstone directly in the middle of the fight. They've got no answers to the zombies. Unknown's gonna blink to the Bob. The respect not
nice
there from
force.
Execration. Another death. They'll lose the Aegis, and you'll lose Bob's life.
And more importantly, give that big juicy bounty over to the TA. So now she's got the blink. Now she could start working on that BKB coming through next. She might be lucky enough to get the Tombstone. Unfortunately not. But, you know, it's something. It's little things going their way. And, I mean, if it gets to the later stages and you can actually burst people down without having to commit so many spells, suddenly Summit's lineup doesn't look anywhere near as bad. But it always feels not so great when successful team fight is on the back of an enemy team screwing up.
I guess the one nice thing for Summit is that you do have this Templar Assassin, which is naturally going to be able to provide you that extra vision advantage with the traps. So maybe you could catch out Execration with their numbers disadvantage. You firstly have to get the side lanes in a position where it forces Execration to split up. And also they kind of have to play a game where they're just maybe not respecting Summit enough and they're not playing like with multiple heroes stick together. As we will see Summit look to smoke. They're going to see Bob. They might be able to blow him up. Vincenzo with the 4-star soul, but it's enough to keep him alive. And Palos, what a carnage here. You couldn't get any better. Clipping onto 4. Tino's into the middle. And this is it for Summit's team fight. They've got to get out. Try and keep as many members alive as possible. And all it'll be is Crush slipping into the nighttime. As Palos, he jumps in. They'll lose Bob, but it's well worth it with the chrono like that.
Tower is under attack.
Taylor as old as time, right? They commit heavily onto one person, they get the kill, it looks great, but then just the overwhelming amount of team fight that they've got an Execration.
That T4 towers, Tino. Yeah, it's a bit deep. The shards, the long boy. And not going to do much.
I'm a fan of the long boy, but unfortunately even that wasn't able to bring it back for them. He's going into the... Is that Kaya Sanj, or is he looking to get the E-Blade even potentially for the Primal Beast? I feel like it's E-Blade that he's going for here. Provides a little bit of protection if someone does end up being the target for the Focus Fire. Forces them to go into a Nullifier that they just don't have the money to be able to pick up. And yeah, single target pickoffs become very easy if you're able to pick that one up.
Did you mention the defensive factor as well? Sorry, I was looking at the replay.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
The TA, the Wind Ranger, mostly for those two, but...
An exceptional item. I really like it for Shanks here. You see...
Such boring, Tino. Come on. Oh, actually, Shanks is getting one. Okay, that's why. No, I was thinking Tino was going to get one. He bought a Kaya first. It's really good. Like, the way you're doing damage is through Trample and Pulverize. And if you're just amping that damage up, why not, you know? The other potential option for him, just because he is, without the Uproar, a little bit squishy against this super heavy physical damage, would have been the AC. Obviously got the Quap already going into the Shivas, so that's not really the pickup that you want to go for. I feel like AC just synergizes pretty well with what you want as Tino here. Might even just hold on to something like the Blast Rig, to be honest. That'd be really good for him.
Yeah, even though level 20 talent, he might... Do you think he considers the extra armor for the Uproar in a game like this?
I would. Yeah, in this game. Most of the time it's the attract modifier, but yeah, definitely this game it's the Uproar. Oh, they're seeing that Crush.
Smoke coming out.
Oh,
Summit.
Behind some kind of reaction.
He's got Refresher, so he can find an opening for double BKB, double Eye of the Storm. We'll see this Razor. If he goes unaddressed in a team fight, it's going to be a big issue, but that's a question. Like, I mean, Execration might just be able to blow him up. Corona's back up. They're ready to fight. They just don't have vision to the left side, so Summit are going to re-smoke. They need to get something out of this double smoke now.
Oh, they saw that the Psyblade connected off onto Shanks in the tree line, so they're going to back off. The question is, how long can you back off for? Like you were saying, double smoke. They've even got a DD on Mercury, which ends up popping just naturally. So maybe trying to get up to that level 16, get another talent available, pick up some of those neutral items for the team. Doesn't feel too great though, playing 16k behind in your potential elimination game for the TI qualifiers, and well, it's not going to get any easier.
It's a cool item build for Palos going into the Helbert. And this is really the item progression in regards to when you're ahead, you want to itemize defensively. You've already got the levels, you've already got the damage. It's really just making sure you're able to stay alive. And we've spoken about the E-Blade and how it can be used defensively. And well, now the Helbert could be really nice first. The TA, Tino, jump in, BKB pulverized, they got the roll forward as well. Crush, he will just get the BKB off, but Palos, dude, how do they do an Execration? This is back-to-back games where it feels like every time their ultimates are hitting multiple heroes as Tino's just gonna charge into the middle. Execration have nothing to fear, nothing to hide. As for it gone, they've got no buybacks. Their sole survival, not for long. As Mercury goes down, and with that, the hopes of Summit from being able to make a crazy run in the lower bracket is stopped short with Execration knocking them out in 2-0 fashion.
Looking good, Execration. You know, they not too big reactions. They know that there's still a long way to go, but what a great last pick Primal Beast. Something that you and I forgot about. You know, obviously it's still new to the game. The Necro probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as good as that, just with how much it stomped that TA in the lane. Like this, I was trying to say it in the game, but there was just too many